everybody, my name is Mars, you can call me MG if you would like, and today I have for you the end of the year book tag. This is a tag that I've done a few times before because, believe it or not, the end of the year comes every single year, and it's a really fun one. I will leave a link to the original video down in the description. There are only 6 questions, so this will be a short video, so let's just get into it. The first question is, are there any books that you've started this year that you still have to finish? And I'm not one to leave books lingering. I prefer to start a book, finish it, start the next one, finish it, start the next one, finish it. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of overlap, but not much. That usually only happens when I have some library holds to get back. But I tend to be a one book at a time person, so I won't like start a book and then put it down and then pick it up a couple weeks later. Like, that's just not my style. I will say, however, that I am hoping to finish my buddy read with Stieg of the Lord of the Rings series by the end of the year. And technically that's a series, but also it's technically one book because J.R.R. Tolkien wanted the whole series like published as one book. It was just incredibly long, and that's why it's a series. So far, we've read the first book, and then there's 2 more to go. So if we can get that finished up by the end of the year, great. If not, it's not the biggest deal. Question 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to help you transition into the end of the year? And I'm not sure exactly how autumnal this is, but it feels like the right season for this book, and I'm going to go with Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I have had this checked out from my library since the end of August, because I've wanted to read it so bad after reading the first book in August, and I just keep renewing my loan. Right now it is due on October 20th, but I do think I have another renewal should I need it, but hopefully I can get to this before then. But I just think that Dark Academia is perfect for this time of year, and I really enjoyed the first book. I also read in September Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, which has a somewhat similar premise to Hellbent, involving a journey into hell to save someone's life, and it's got that background of Dark Academia, and I had a good time with that, so I just want to pick this up so badly. The timing just has not been right so far, and I think it is going to be perfect for transitioning me into all of the darker, spookier books that I want to read in the end of the year. The third question is there a new release that you're still waiting for? And I cannot wait for the release of Break Wide the Sea by Sarah Holland. It comes out, I believe, November 11th. First of all, I want to put the cover up for you to look at because it is absolutely stunning. One of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. But then it also just sounds amazing. It has, like, relationship tension. It's got magical fae folk that deal with the ocean and, like, magic whales. A very loud car just went by. I apologize. I don't know, everything about this book just sounds so perfect to me. I've never read from this author before, but I have heard of her, so I don't know how the writing style is going to go, but I cannot wait for this book to release. I need to have my hands on it. The next question is, what are 3 books that you're still hoping to read by the end of the year? And I'm cheating on this a little bit because all 3 of these books are ones I plan on reading very soon in October, because it is for a vlog that I will be putting out in October, so I kind of have to get to them for the vlog. But those books are Small Spaces by Katherine Arden, Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega, and The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud. This is also the Nostalgia Train book club pick for the month, so even if I wasn't reading it for a vlog, I would still be reading it for the book club. For the penultimate question, we have, is there a book you think could shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And I'm not really sure about this. I have read so many amazing books this year, like 10 out of 10 fantastic books, that it is already very close competition for which one's going to come out on top. Of course, I could still find one in the next few months that joins those ranks, but like, it's going to be tough to decide. I am very much dreading doing my top book list of the year because putting them in any semblance of order is going to be so hard, but also I'm excited because I'm going to love talking about these books. And the final question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? And it's crazy to think about 2026 already, but I have been doing so. Mostly the only planning that I've done is the fact that I need to focus on continuing and finishing series instead of starting a million new ones, which I have done this year. I've started so many series, but I've also made good progress on continuing and completing some. I just need to make it a bit more of a priority in my reading life. So I've got some tentative plans on how to implement that in 2026. Some structure I'm going to put around my reading to make sure I'm prioritizing series. I guess I also have technically planned that any of the Herkyed books I don't read by the end of this year will be read next year, because that's Herkyed is going to end halfway through next year. If you don't know what Herkyed is, it stands for the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. It is run by Q over at the channel QWERTY, and it is basically a bingo board of reading challenges, and it's very hard, hence the name. And I think for me personally, I had 93, 94 books total on my list to cover all of the prompts, and this challenge started in July and will end July of next year. I think technically July 7th is the date, but I will have 6 months basically next year to finish out any that I don't read this year. So I guess technically that is a plan that I've made for my reading in 2026. But there we have it. Like I said, a nice short video. I enjoy doing this tag pretty much every year. I don't know if I've done it every single year I've had a channel, but I've done it most of the years. Let me know down in the comments. Ooh, which one do I want to ask you? I'm going to ask you guys which autumnal books you have that you will be using to transition into the end of the year. That is what I'm curious about, so let me know. But if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.